Now, these are the big fellas. They put on 12-ounce gloves. Anthony Hembrick and Darin Allen. Darin Allen is 4-1 in 5 bouts against Hembrick. Interesting youngster, very attractive personality. Like all fathers in the world, I guess one of the first things out of my mouth when I sat down to talk to Darin was, have you developed an occupation or a trade?
Well, no, I haven't. The program got discontinued, and I haven't pursued it. Never did. I'm a full-time boxer. I did some spot labor on the side, but for the most part, I dedicate myself to boxing. When I did quit, I did work a job, but I was a carpenter. I laid carpet. I was a telemarketer. I worked in a weight room. I was a janitor, dishwasher. But I said, hey, I'm a boxer, and this is what I do best, and this is what I am. And I know there's a lot of stereotypes to put on boxers, but this is what I do, and I'm proud to be a boxer.
Some comments from Darin Allen to give you an idea of how strongly these young men feel about this activity they're involved in right now. Jerry Dusenberry is the referee, calling them into the center of the ring. Ed Urbeck, Ray Cartier, Marco Sarfaraz, Bob Wimberly, and Bob Stuber. Studer is occupying the number 5 position. And Jerry Dusenberry, of course, has been around for a long time, almost 20 years in officiating amateur boxing. He's a manager of communications for the U.S. government out of Portland, Oregon. 4-1 record for Darin Allen against Anthony Hembrick. Hembrick, stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. He's a corporal communications specialist in the Army. He's wearing the Army colors, gold. Darin Allen is in the red from Columbus, Ohio. Darin Allen opens the bout, first of 3 3-minute rounds, going to the body. Hembrick coming over the top with that looping left hook and scoring with it on the side of Allen's head. Darin Allen has had some wars with a gentleman named John Scully. He lost to Scully in the finals of the Eastern Trials, but beat him here in the semifinals. But he was down in the dumps. And a couple of his teammates took him by the collar and just shook him and said, look, Allen, you're at the top of your game, the peak of your physical life. This is a chance to go to the Olympics. And yesterday, he was really pumped up. That's a good combination inside by Allen. A little bit of an edge and reach and style, perhaps, going to Hembrick, as Darin Allen is wont sometimes to duck just a bit as he makes his move inside, but that also is the way he finds the opponent's body. There's a good left hook to the body, but Hembrick scores to the head. There's a good right hand by Hembrick, but Allen comes right back with a left hook of his own. The winner of these bouts at the Olympic trials goes to the Olympic box-off. There he'll meet the most noteworthy opponent next weekend in Las Vegas. And the winner out of Las Vegas is the one who goes to Seoul. That is done, incidentally, to alleviate a big, stunning upset of a sort. They're trying to ensure opportunity for all hands so that they make sure they send the 12 best fighters that we have to the Olympic Games. It's an acceptable thing. It's always been done that way. And everybody prepares themselves for it. But you've got to win here in Concord, California at the Olympic trials in order to guarantee your position in the box office. 165-pounders, they're using 12-ounce gloves now. And this first round is pretty spirited. Overhand right by Hembrick just missed his target, but that one didn't. He caught Allen right on the jaw. That's a good right hand up to the body by Darin Allen. One of the things about Allen, it was just simply whether or not that he had lost about a year or so ago to Espinoza of Cuba, if he could focus himself, if he could come up with a concentration essential to continue an amateur career. And I think the answer is pretty obvious right in front of you as we come down to the end of round 1. Second round, 165 pounds, middleweights. That is Anthony Hembrick in the gold and Darin Allen in the red shirt. Going to be kind of interesting. interesting to watch Darin Allen here because in his history, sometimes he slowed up in that third round, lacking stamina. There's a good overhand right by Hembrick. Allen shook it off. Anthony Hembrick beat Keith Providence and William Guthrie to get into the final, and you've already seen pretty good counterpuncher, and he uses the reach pretty well. The question mark that has been put on him is his legs, and one wonders if the leg work is sufficient for this particular category because he's not that terribly active. In other words, he's an available target sometime. And Hank Johnson, the Army coach, along with Alton Murkison, were both in the corner with him between rounds and talking to him about that. And he's come out like a raging tiger here in the second round. That was a wicked combination scored by Anthony Hembrick. Now, you would think they've had 5 fights that they would know each other so well. But, you know, there are days and there are days, and there's a right-hand lead by Hembrick that scores. Hembrick loaded in this round. There's a good left hook by Darin Allen. And another one by Allen. And a right hand by Allen. So Allen goes back inside and comes up with an uppercut and scores with it. So they're scoring in flurries as Hembrick looks into the corner for advice from Hank Johnson. Of course, Hank's not entitled to give it, and all of a sudden Aaron nails him with another uppercut. Hembrick looks all right. But Darin Allen definitely scored twice and goes hooks to the body, hooks to the head again. And that gets Hembrick back in motion. Hard right hand by Allen. The officials in all of the fights here at the Olympic trials, and you'll see it again next week in the Olympic box-off, get very tough on rules because the fighters simply have to be accustomed to it as they go into the international competition. There's a right hand by both fighters, and now a flurry, a solid combination by Hembrick, and Darin Allen for a moment wanted to hold on. That's a good right hand to the body by Allen, but he takes a right from Hembrick to the head. Good flurry. I don't know how much damage, but still a good flurry by Hembrick. This is a good fight between 165-pounders. Tough grinder. So let's go into the red corner now with Darin Allen, Wayne Pruitt, and Jerry Page. Pappy Galt is over there as well. And Delario Rodriguez. That's Pappy Galt.
The same way we discussed. Do you hear me? Spit it right here. Now he's looking. Let's go in there. Stay in the middle of the ring. Middle of the ring.
Now to the other corner. Hank Johnson and Alton Murkison.
Everything. The jab. Double jab right hand. Then all of a sudden, Frank jab right hand left hook. Frank jab right hand left hook. Every time you step back, right hand left hook. Come back in with the right hand. He's made for a 2-3-2.
Hank Johnson may very well be a prime candidate to become the Olympic boxing coach if Ken Adams is not reinstated next week. The U.S. Olympic boxing trials live tomorrow at 3 Eastern and 2 Central and Pacific. And now we will go to final round. Hembrick came on strong in that second round. Question of stamina and Darin Allen. Something to watch. And he maintained the pace. He was very efficient and very busy in the first round. Not so busy in the second. He was fighting to defend at times in the second. Good right hand by Allen. Left hand by Allen. And Hembrick does not score off the flurry. There's a right hand by Anthony, though. Anthony Hembrick of the U.S. Army boxing team in the gold. Trying to flurry with Allen. Allen missing as he went for the uppercut. He scored twice with that particular punch in the second round. Darin sort of ducked in behind Jerry Dusenberry there for a momentary respite on the ropes. Pretty good right hand by Hembrick. Darin Allen now showing a little fatigue because he's starting to lean in. And Anthony Hembrick, never one unwilling to step forward, waving the arm a little there, asking for a little more crowd support. Because he fancies the crowd belongs to him. That overhand right just missed. He loaded up on it and didn't get it. Good body shot by Allen. Another good body shot by Allen. Right there is a good example of why you need the headgear, because they really whacked each other as they butted heads, but no damage because of the headgear. They're both now just loading up. Both of them getting tired. Wouldn't you? Inside, Hembrick gets the better of that exchange. This close fight. That was a left-right by Hembrick. And Allen, a little wild now. And oftentimes that kind of wildness is a direct result of fatigue as they fall into the rope. 40 seconds to go in the round. Hembrick may have the edge in physical strength right here, though Allen comes over the top with a pretty good right hand. Darin Allen needs to put on some pressure. He's not very busy right now. He gets Hembrick on the ropes, though, and hammers him with a very good left to the body. But Hembrick is the busier fighter. Counterpunching very well. Lose your accuracy when you get tired. The fight is over. Well, I don't know what your feeling is, but it could be Hembrick in this instance. We'll see. Back after this commercial and a word from our local station. Now, here's your decision at 165 pounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision. The winner in the blue corner, Anthony Hembrick. Blue corner.
How did he win it? He won it on grit and determination. He outlasted Darin Allen. Allen slowed down from the middle of the second round on, and Hembrick got stronger and stronger. Both of them were bone dog tired at the end of it. But Hembrick had built up enough of an edge in the second and early on in the third round with flurries like that, and that got him the decision. I suspect that each one of the judges' cards might have been very close, like 60-59. Maybe a 60-58 here and there, but nonetheless, even though it's a 5-0 decision, it can still be a very close fight. And I looked up at Hank Johnson when the fight was done, and Hank had the same feeling that his man had won a fight. Now, if we can just get him over here, he's over there celebrating with his pals, and we'll have a moment to talk with him. Anthony Hembrick, who is stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, was born in Beckley, West Virginia. He is a corporal in communication. And he sat yesterday with that easy, laid-back look that he likes to fancy and said, I'm going to win the fight. You did.
Say again?
Said yesterday you leaned back in your chair and announced that you were going to win it, and you did.
Yes. You know, I knew what I had to do because he was tough, and usually I always get psyched up if I get overworked in the dressing room. So in the third round, he would always pull out the third round. So I said, I'm going to be nice, calm, and relaxed this time, and win enough to win the first and second round. Then the third round, just give him all, and that proved to be the winning factor today.
Well, now you go on to the box off. Do you have a feeling who it might be in Las Vegas?
It'll definitely be Dan. He's proven that he's a noteworthy opponent, a worthy opponent, world champion, and he's proven that he can beat him. So, without a doubt, he'll be there, and I'm going to be up for it again, Same thing, nice, calm, relaxed, ready for him. I'm happy. Can you tell?
I bet you are.
Yes.
Well, you go have a party.
Thank you.
I'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Anthony Hembrick The winner at 165 pounds.